A recent discovery has reignited interest in the prophetic messages of Sister Agnes Sasagawa, the Japanese nun whose visions of the Virgin Mary in the 1970s warned of a time of crisis. Known for her deep faith and remarkable resilience, Sister Sasagawa's visions contained dire predictions for the world and the Church. Her warnings were not vague. They were precise, urgent, and tied to messages of repentance, urging humanity to return to faith or face severe consequences. These messages, revealed in Akita, Japan, began with miraculous signs, including a weeping statue. Sister Sasagawa reported receiving prophecies of future suffering and spiritual upheaval, which many now feel are being fulfilled as today's crisis echo her prediction. As events unfold around us, we're left to consider, is Sister Sasagawa's prophecy coming to pass? And if so, what does it mean for the future? Sister Agnes Sasagawa's story follows a path shaped by hardship and profound faith. Born in rural Japan on May 28, 1931, she experienced significant health struggles early on, but the true challenge came at 19. A medical error during surgery left her paralyzed, leading to 16 years of constant pain and endless treatments with little success. Yet, in this darkness, she met a Catholic nurse whose faith moved her to convert, setting her on an extraordinary spiritual journey, especially bold in a community where such beliefs were rare. Her commitment led her to join the Sisters of the Immaculate Heart of Mary in Nagasaki, and later the Handmaids of the Eucharist in Akita. In 1973, she suffered total hearing loss, which was a devastating blow. Then, during Eucharistic adoration, she experienced a vision, an angel appearing with a promise of temporary hearing restoration, which miraculously came to pass for 5 months. This astonishing event opened the way for a series of spiritual experiences, leading to prophetic messages from the Virgin Mary that would reach far beyond her convent walls, sending a call to faith, prayer, and repentance that has resonated worldwide. Her life stands as a vivid witness to the power of faith and the ways it can transform those willing to embrace it fully. In 1973, Sister Agnes Sasagawa reported a profound series of events that have captivated believers globally, known as the Akita apparitions. It began in the chapel of the Handmaids of the Eucharist convent in Akita, Japan, where a wooden statue of the Virgin Mary, carved from a single piece of katsura wood, began to radiate light. Soon after, witnesses saw the statue weep 101 times in total. The tears were documented and confirmed to be of human composition, heightening the event's impact. The Virgin Mary's messages to Sister Sasagawa carried compelling pleas for repentance, daily devotion, and prayer. She warned of an approaching fire from the sky and catastrophic suffering if humanity failed to change its ways, highlighting the Rosary as a shield for the faithful. The apparitions included forewarnings of crisis within the Catholic Church, cautioning that internal discord and loss of faith would infiltrate even its highest ranks. For many, these apparitions are seen as a sacred call to strengthen faith through prayer and penance in a world growing increasingly unstable. As the messages continued, Sister Sasagawa's experiences grew more intense. On August 3, 1973, the Virgin Mary warned that humanity's sins had deeply wounded God, stressing the need for immediate repentance. She cautioned that if people did not return to faith, a severe punishment would fall upon all. Mary instructed the faithful to pray fervently, especially the Rosary, as a means of protection and solace from the heart of Jesus, which suffers from humanity's moral failings. Then, on October 13th, the Virgin Mary's message grew even darker. She predicted an apocalyptic vision of fire falling from the sky, foretelling immense suffering and underscoring that only prayer and true repentance could prevent this fate. Her warning to pray for the protection of the Pope and clergy hinted at severe trials facing the Church, with prophesied divisions that would see cardinals opposing cardinals, bishops against bishops, For many believers, this prophecy echoes the third secret of Fatima, painting a picture of a spiritual crisis with devastating consequences. These apparitions created a wave of devotion worldwide, with many seeing them as a divine summons to prayer and repentance, a guide through darkening times, and a final appeal to realign humanity with God's path. Sister Sasagawa's messages warned of global suffering if humanity didn't return to God. Today, many see these prophecies beginning to play out in real time. First, consider the natural world. Fire from the sky and chaotic environmental upheavals are unsettlingly familiar as we witness relentless wildfires, floods, and devastating storms worldwide. These disasters, intensifying year by year, are often interpreted as the world's response to a spiritual and moral crisis. Health crises, another part of her warnings, are also strikingly relevant now. With the COVID-19 pandemic, waves of illness swept across nations, leaving deep scars on communities, economies, and mental health. For believers, this tragic event seemed to echo the global suffering that Sister Sasagawa foretold, a sign of the prophesied consequences of straying from faith. These messages now resonate as global and ecclesiastical upheavals rise in tandem. Within the Church itself, the Virgin Mary's message spoke of a painful spiritual decay. She warned that divisions and even the work of the devil would reach the Church's highest levels. Recent years have seen shocking scandals, internal conflicts, and a decline in church participation across traditionally strong Catholic communities. Many now feel that her vision of a crisis of faith within the Church has come true, as the faithful face challenges to trust and belief. On a global level, escalating conflicts like the war in Ukraine and tensions in the Middle East mirror her warning of social and political turmoil. Rising hostility and violence seem to fulfill the prophecy of global unrest, urging humanity to turn back to prayer and devotion as the path to peace. Sister Sasagawa's call to pray the Rosary daily rings especially clear to those who believe the Virgin Mary's protective shield is needed now more than ever. In October 2019, Sister Sasagawa's silence was shattered by a message that felt like a wake-up call from heaven itself. After years of quiet, her guardian angel appeared with a direct, unsettling command. Put on ashes and pray for a repentant rosary every day. To Catholics, this was no mere request, but a final, intense plea for action. This mention of ashes holds deep weight. In the Catholic tradition, ashes symbolize penance, a physical sign of inner repentance, humility, and readiness for divine mercy. Coming at a time of rampant crisis, wildfires raging, political upheaval, and moral collapse, this message felt deeply prophetic, aligning with what many see as a fulfillment of her earlier warnings from Akita. For many believers, praying the Rosary daily has become more than a devotion. It's seen as a line of defense, a shield against the darkness closing in. The message has since sparked a powerful response. Across the world, Catholics have taken this call to heart, feeling as though they are being urged, not just to pray, but to fortify their souls. In a time when disasters and divisions seem to be everywhere, the faithful are looking to Sister Sasagawa's words as a summons to turn back to God before it's too late. Sister Sasagawa's final message leaves us with an unsettling question. With every crisis, we must ask, are Sister Sasagawa's warnings unfolding before our eyes? With every disaster, conflict, and division, her words feel more like immediate grave realities. For believers, her message is a clear call to wake up, pray, and return to God before it's too late. Many view this as a last chance to shift course and seek mercy. The sense of urgency in Sister Sasagawa's prophecy is undeniable. As the world spirals in ways that seem to echo her words, Catholics around the world feel compelled to shield their souls through prayer and to prepare for what may lie ahead. The choice to heed this call is ours, but how much time do we have left?